What's going on, everybody? You're listening to the S3 Live. I'm JD. She's Miss Lady M. Marnie, how you doing today?
Good. It's Friday.
See, it's Friday. Every day for me is Friday, though.
Happy
So,
Friday.
yeah. You didn't even have to have a meeting today.
I didn't. We skipped it. Yay.
Hey, who wants to sit in a meeting anyway on a Friday? Yeah, that is definitely one of the things that I do not miss at all. Today, what do we got going on? Today, we've got a new segment that we introduced last week called NASCAR You Got Sauce. That's coming up shortly. We've got the NBA schedule for tonight. First off, let me bow down. She kicked my ass again last night in the 10-point play. See, Mike, I just, I, you know where I'm going with this. I made up the game. I created the rules for the game. It's a sport that I watch on the regular. I'm getting my ass kicked at the game that I made up. Moving on for now. So we've got more of the 10-point play coming up here in a little bit, along with the rest of the NBA schedule. We've also got best bets and DraftKings DFS. Man, what a difference a week makes. Last week 9-2. This week so far 2-9. However, I will say this: some of the best bettors out there are at 53 to 54% winning percentage. Some of the best ones out there are 50. So right now, man, I just need to have a winning night tonight, and I'll be better than them. We're going to talk some best bets for college basketball. I've got a couple of NBA picks, and I've got a couple NBA props. I've also got the DFS builds. There's two different DFS slates tonight for the NBA. And for those of you just joining us, DFS is daily fantasy sports that you play on DraftKings or FanDuel or whatever your powder keg is for your betting. So I've got the 6 game, I've got the 4 game we're going to go over. Also, hey, we finally get to talk a little bit of spring training. We'll touch up with that at the end. Real quick, though, let me give a shout out to our couple of our sponsors. Don't forget to sign up for the free Launch Your Sports Brand Challenge. Learn the skills you need to launch your own sports brand from scratch over a 3-day period. Go to CoachJeffDemers.com and click on the challenge button below our mission statement to join. Also, if you're looking to start your very first sports podcast, you can get a 1-month free trial of Podbean's unlimited hosting plan by going to podbean.com/coach JD. That's actually the program that we are on for our podcast. It helps you share it everywhere. All right. What's first?
Headlines with horrible dad jokes.
Headlines with horrible dad jokes. We warned you ahead of time. They're horrible. You can't say anything about them. Headline number 1, MLB players add see-through pants to concerns with new uniforms. Apparently, they're using a lighter material. This is designed by Nike and Fanatics. They're using such a light material that certain aspects of the player's body is a little see-through with the sun glaring in certain areas.
Yeah.
They okayed these for play. We're in spring training now. I mean, if you need a rush job for a new uniform, you better go get it right now.
Yeah.
All right. You don't want your little kids' first, experience at the ballpark.
A specific brand of lady.
Yeah. Yeah. Why are we full of women all of a sudden? Like, not that there's anything wrong with that, but I mean, like, yeah. All right. First joke. Why does Snoop Dogg always carry an umbrella?
I have no idea.
For drizzle. Oh, drizzle.
Faux shizzle.
Yeah. Headline number 2. D-backs say MLB to produce team's TV telecast again in 2024. So we were actually talking about this earlier on. It's actually a pretty damn good deal. MLB Network, you can get for $199 for the entire season, which is, I think, is what we agreed we're going to end up doing.
Yeah.
You get any team that you want in Major League Baseball outside of like Sunday Night Baseball games or something like that. That's on a bigger network. You get
Right.
every game. Plus D-backs TV for just $199. If you just want a random amount of teams to watch, then go for the $149. But if you want to include D-backs, just another $50 to watch the National League champions. All
If
right.
you just want the D-backs, isn't there a deal for that too?
99
Like 99?
You just want to watch D-backs. So D-backs
Yeah.
fans, there you go. $99 all season, no blackouts. No
Yeah, that's
blackouts. Yeah,
sweet.
that's big. All right. Unless it's on a nationally television game. Then they can't do anything about it.
Well, then you'll see it on TV. So,
Lady M,
yes.
why did the gym close down?
I have no idea.
It just didn't work out.
But
it just didn't work out. Shout out to Karen and
hi,
Neil,
Karen.
Our favorite people, Fat Guy's favorite people, because they make some good stuff. Like, yeah. All right, we'll talk about them in a minute. We'll talk about Karen and them in just a second. Next up. All right, the Coyotes. Now, we usually don't cover NHL news. I had to throw this in there because this just goes on the long list of stupid things that professional players do to just destroy their career. Coyotes cutting Adam Ruzicka after apparent cocaine video. This dude posted on his Instagram. Of course he did. Why wouldn't you when you're high on cocaine? Not only the white substance on the counter, but the credit card right next to it. What?
Was it like in the background and he just missed it, or was he deliberately like posting a sniffing video?
No, I didn't see the video, but according to reports, you can see it. It was in view, which brought me, as an entrepreneur, I'm thinking, why do these idiots keep using their credit cards? First off, can't you get we should design specific, for that niche and make them white. How about that? Stop getting caught with white substances on your credit card. Just get when you go to when you go to the
one
casino.
Of those things you use for frosting on a cake.
No.
That would work. Okay.
That would put them on a whole new level.
The baker and me came alive. They're going, I know this tool.
Baking with cocaine this weekend with Marnie. All right. No, I was thinking one of those cards that they use in the decks to cut the cards when you're playing blackjack. Just slide it in there. Just use one of those. Stop using your credit cards. My God.
I mean, he almost needs to be concerned about how much of the credit card number was showing too at this point, because
he's on coke. At this point, nothing he has done is smart. All right. Next joke. What do you call a cold puppy?
I have no idea.
Chili dog.
Chili dog.
Chili dog. All right. NCAA can't enforce the new NIL rules after judge grants injunction. So according to an ESPN article, a federal judge in Tennessee granted a preliminary injunction on Friday afternoon that prohibits the NCAA from punishing any athletes or boosters for negotiating name, image, and likeness deals during their recruiting process or while they are in the transfer portal. First off, they're in the portal. All right. It's their job to try and get it. This is hilarious to me because this is exactly where I said this shit was going to go when they launched it. And they said these players need to get paid for their stuff. Nick Saban, former Alabama coach, he retired not because he was tired of football, but because he was tired of this shit right here. Nick Saban said there is no longer any such thing as a student athlete.
Yeah, they're more like semi-pros.
These are now employees.
Yeah.
These are employees. You need to sign them to a contract, and then if they decide to leave, buy out their contract.
Right.
It's the same thing the pros get now, right? There is no such thing. If you ever want to just tell us how worthless the education system is in this country now, I give you Exhibit A. These kids are not going to school to learn anything. Yeah. They're going so they can get paid between $100,000 and $1 million their freshman year.
Yeah.
And then what about the kids that are like, oh, I got money forever now. I got $1 million next year.
Yeah.
Drop out of college. no education, $1 million goes away within a year. Then they got to go
Yeah.
back to school, put their tail between them. You think they're going to do that?
Well, you're
No.
about 18-year-old kids. They're the same kids that go eat nothing but junk food every day for the first year of college and then wonder why they put on a whole bunch of weight out of nowhere. Like they're
Oh, I am
kids.
so tired of this stuff.
They
These
still
are
have a lot of little
kids
kid in them.
with no real world experience that you are
At
paying
all.
7 figures plus
Right.
for a year of college basketball.
I can think of a
Thank
couple
you,
of
Karen. Look,
youngins I know that would be a problem.
there you go.
Yeah. I agree, Karen.
There you go. Thank you.
People aren't teaching them how to be grown-ups anymore, but we're just freeing them and expecting them to
Yeah.
be them. And that's stupid.
I said
That's stupid. That's failing on our end as
this
well.
is where they're going. Everybody's like, well, what are they going to school for? What the hell you mean they're going to school for? To get a freaking degree. To get an
Right.
education. What are you going to school for? Idiots? God. I'm over this shit already. It's only year 2. I'm already over it.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So now you reap what you sow, right? You agreed to this stuff. You wanted this stuff. NCAA said this is the way to go. NIL players should get paid for their stuff. Now you're like, oh my God, we can't control it. No shit. You're trying to control 18-year-old kids with a ton of money.
Ungodly amounts of money. Yeah.
And now with the transfer portal, all they have to do is say, okay, sign me for a year. And then next year, I'm going to ask for more money. If I don't, I am now going to transfer, because you can do that now.
Yeah.
To the next highest bidder.
Yeah.
And the next highest bidder. Like, that's all it's about now.
Yeah.
That's all it's about now. That's why, like,
they're not learning how to manage that money or how to grow that money or how to keep that money anywhere in there.
We were talking about, like, are we interested at all in watching the NFL, the NBA draft? No. Because this is what's coming to the NBA. These are the kids that are coming to the NBA, right? I get in arguments all the time over the LeBron lovers, the layup clan, right? Because he never plays defense, ever. Yeah. All they teach now is money and offense. That's it.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan, great on both ends of the court. Greatest basketball player ever, hands down. And I'm a Larry Bird fan.
Yeah.
Right? I will pick Larry Bird 10 times out of 10 over LeBron James any day of the week. Any freaking day of the week.
Yeah.
All right. Look. Oh, that's a spot for me. That's
First rant of the show. First rant of the show.
That's how I get it started, and I still have this to go.
Yeah.
All right. This is going to be a fun show. We're kicking it off early. What's next, pray tell?
First quarter. NASCAR, you got sauced.
NASCAR, you got sauce is brought to you by Mamba's Hot Sauce. Park that RV and become the talk of the track at NASCAR Weekend when you're cooking with Mamba Hot Sauce. Mamba Hot Sauce, don't be a wimp. I wasn't. No milk last week, by the way. None whatsoever. None. This week, trying out a new sauce. Trying out the Mamba Cayenne, right? Cayenne?
Yeah, Cayenne.
Yeah, that's not English. I know that's not even a word, right? That's made up. Like, that's
Cayenne pepper.
All right, so let me go ahead. Look, my go-to snack, I'll eat 50 of these a day if I could, but like somebody won't let me. But nuggets, right? I love nuggets. The sauce was great on nuggets. Last week it was the Mamba 10 special edition. Mamba number 10 special edition. Hot as hell. Flavor so good. So good. Like,
I could say, I have tried got me too. Like, you don't, because the heat is a separate element, because there's really genuinely good flavor in these sauces. Unlike some hot sauces that it's just the heat, nothing else there. So you're tasting the good flavor and you're enjoying it and everything's going great. And then all of a sudden your mouth is on fire and you're like, oh, wait, that was also spicy.
Like, just smell the flavor. It's just, Which two did you try?
I did the jalapeno verde. Really, really good. That would go perfect with eggs if anybody needs an example. And then last night I tried chili chipotle, and that's got a really good smoky flavor. That would go so good in barbecue.
We're going to go through this sauce so fast.
So fast. My goal there is to sneak some of that into some barbecue.
This is only a 3 on the skull and crossbones scale, by the way. Last week was a 5.
So we'll see.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I do have milk, though. Not going to lie. Just in case. I do have some. This one's loaded. Let's go ahead. There it is. There it is. I didn't want to say anything because it creeps up on you. I knew what to expect from last week. If all of their sauces are like this,
yeah,
then I'm going to give each bite like 10 seconds
until you're feeling the effects of it, and then you're like,
oh my god, this is so good.
Yeah,
this is so good.
I'm actually dying to try that one too. I bet I'd make
this is mine. Get your own bottle. This is mine. Mamba Cayenne. Pick it up. MambaHotSauces.com. So we do have some sports to talk about here. We got the race in Atlanta Motor Speedway this weekend. I got to take another bite. Oh yeah. Oh, this is good stuff. I gotta admit though, like, I'm not worried anymore because I tried the number 10 last week and that was extremely good. It was hot though.
It wasn't last week. It was just Wednesday. It was 2 days ago.
You know what? You're right. So 2 days ago.
2 days ago, you tried the hottest one and you survived. So yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, it makes you forget time. So there's the drawback to this, but it is really, really good though. Really good. So basically, the ones that you've been using, yeah, just replace them with these.
That.
Like from now on, like throw that other stuff out. I do want
to try that one pretty bad.
Well, we may need another bottle because, like, I used the tip, just the tip. But it's good. Oh my god, it's so good.
We're definitely
let me actually get some work done here real quick. All right, so there's a double header on Saturday, right?
Yes.
You've got today you had the Freight 208 qualifying for the Craftsman Truck Series. Right now, I think as we speak is the Raptor 250 qualifying for the Xfinity Series, but both races are tomorrow. All right, and then Saturday tomorrow is also the Cup Series qualifying early. I believe it's set 11 o'clock. I get the times mixed up, not from our time to East Coast time, but whatever's on the website, because I never know if it's showing, because with how smart computers are and stuff, like a lot of times because we're out here in Arizona, it shows mountain time, like on the scores for our ESPN and stuff.
Right.
But then if I go to like this schedule, is it showing mountain time or is it showing East Coast time? I don't know. Right. So it's early tomorrow. So what time you need to wake up? Early. Set your alarm for early. That's how you do it.
Well, with that, if they're doing qualifying and then they're doing race and then they're doing second race, is there somebody that's going to literally be driving all day tomorrow? There's nobody that does all three, right? I know there's plenty of Xfinity and Cup Series lapovers, but I feel like there was at least one person in the Truck Series that was a
Kyle Busch is racing in the Truck Series tomorrow, but I don't know if he's doing Xfinity tomorrow. But he's racing in the Truck Series.
That's something to keep an eye out for. So that's by the time you're rolling around to that last race of the day, that's gonna affect your performance for sure. Well, so I would imagine. Unless
you're Daniel Suarez and you wreck in the first 10% of both races.
Yeah, that's exactly my point, though.
I looked at Suarez on my power rankings. He was like 18th. He is not on my power rankings this week
anymore. Yeah,
he got booted. Like you can't even last a quarter of the race before you're wrecked. And on top of that, you took out my freaking driver because you couldn't control your car from going back up
to her very first
race,
Xfinity race,
right in the back. Haley Deegan. Come on now. I'm a Deegan fan because, like, I think there should be more women. as crazy as most women are that I've been around that drive crazy, there should definitely be more women drivers in NASCAR.
I feel like there's room for a joke about jumping curves in there somehow, but I
But
don't have it.
but are we really joking though? That's the thing. Is
You
it
know, the
really a
only
joke?
time in my adult life I have jumped a curve, it was when I was driving in a car with you because I was nervous about it.
Oh yeah.
I'm still mad about that. Only time
Why
in
were
my
you
adult life.
nervous?
It's because he
I
was
just
sitting
have
next
that,
to me in the car and I
I
got
have that
nervous.
effect
Mr.
on women, I
Professional
guess.
driver over here.
I mean, I'm not a professional driver. I did
Well,
13,000 trips for Uber and I had no tickets and no accidents. That's all I can say about that.
no.
That some would say that's a perfect record. You can. I'll let you. No more. Go ahead. All right. So doubleheader Saturday, the Freight 208 is 135 laps, 207.9 miles. Personally, I think the Freight 207.9 mile race sounds better than the Freight 208, but whatever. I'm not the marketing guy. All right. Austin Hill is looking to go back to back to start the season. He won at Daytona. He also won the last race at Atlanta. So Austin Hill is he's off to a solid start this
He
year.
really is. Yeah.
Like it. The Raptor King of Tough 250 for Xfinity is 163 laps, 251.02 miles. I'm trying really hard not to burp on that, but I'm shoving down this hot sauce.
I could tell how good it is because like you're eating it like it's a food that you want to eat on purpose, not like you're forcing yourself to eat something spicy for the camera.
Get your own bottle.
Whenever he gets a mouthful of food, he can't talk for a minute. It means he likes it.
Oh, I'm not going to drink water, though. I'm not going to drink the milk either. So we'll see. All right. It is hot.
Yeah.
But it's not as hot as Mama number 10.
Yeah.
But it's hot. I like it.
Yeah.
It's good. All right. Raptor King of Tough 250, 163 laps, 251.02 miles. That is later in the evening. I just want to see Haley Deegan finish the race. I think if she can just finish the race, because this is another drafting track, and it's rare for them to have back-to-back drafting tracks in NASCAR.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like really, really rare. So this is crazy, but I mean, it'll work out. Sunday, the Am Better Health 400, 260 laps, 400.4 miles. 2023 winners, William Byron and Joey Logano. William Byron, as we know, won the 500 last on Sunday. We're still in the same week. This sauce got me crazy. William Byron is a plus 180 to finish in the top 5. Corey LaJoie, if you're going to place a bet, Corey LaJoie has finished like 8 of his 10 top 10 finishes were at drafting tracks.
Right.
He is one of the most underrated drivers in NASCAR when it comes to the super speedways. Corey LaJoie, if you want to make some money, just throwing this out there, the bet that he'll finish in the top 5, which he did last week, is at plus 500. That means $10 wins you 60. Do the math, figure out how much you want to put down on him. He'll finish in the top 5. I can almost guarantee that. But again, I'm not doing very good on my guarantees this week. We'll talk more on that in a second.
Anything can happen in sports.
The 3 must starts, though,
to making a guarantee.
For fantasy goes, the 3 must starts, Joey Logano, Corey LaJoie, William Byron. I mean, absolutely phenomenal races at these tracks. I still can't believe that I took him off of number 1 in my top 20 rankings. Speaking of which,
but to give Joel some credit, he gave a very, very well thought out and backed up with facts argument. He did, which is what made you second guess yourself.
Facts aren't real. All right, moving on.
I was just gut checking. I would have put McLaren number one also. I would have put Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch up there, and Tyler Reddick.
So here's my thing. Here's my
But
thing.
that's
First off,
that's not
do not,
anything.
now that you mentioned him, do not bet Kyle Larson. He is not good at drafting tracks. He's great everywhere else. He has wrecked 3 out of his last 4 drafting tracks. He is DNF'd. Did not finish in 3 of his last 4.
I'm saying when we were talking about for the beginning of the season, not for just this next race.
No, for the season, have him on board. Put him in the garage. You can pick him up after. Like, that's just,
I don't even remember who I have on my team now that you say that.
Well, you got to check it out because the race is Sunday. All right. It's only race number 2 at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and William Byron has already made me eat my words. But is that enough for me to put him from 7th to number 1? NASCAR fans, if you're watching, tell me who you think should be number 1 in the comments. Who should be ranked the number 1 driver? And I have a feeling that they're just going to put their favorite driver. But whatever.
Maybe. But that's valid.
Let's work our way down, shall we?
It's all right.
At number 20, AJ Allmendinger. AJ had a strong showing at Daytona. He finished 6th. He was not in my top 20 last week, but with Suarez and Stenhouse Jr. just slacking last week, I had to take him out of my top 20. So you have to fill those spots. AJ Allmendinger right there in the 20th. Number 19. I have a feeling this guy's going to be a lot higher after this week. He wasn't in my top 20 because when I initially put the top 20 down, I was thinking season, right?
Right.
I was thinking, will this guy be in the top 20 at the end of the season? But now I'm regretting it. I had to put Corey LaJoie, get him in there. Sometimes, it's easy to forget just how good of a driver this man actually is at drafting tracks. The question is, after what I assume to be another good showing at Atlanta, can he hold on to his momentum when they go back to the more technical tracks? I think he'll be really good this weekend. Then he starts to fade away when they're not the drafting tracks.
Yeah.
So with that being said, number 18, Ryan Preece. I had Preece at 20 last week, even after an early accident and some minor damage. Preece drove really well in this race. His 23rd place finish did not do his story justice at Daytona. It didn't. He was running up front for the majority of the race, and he started in the back. He got Daytona'd, if that's a thing. If I can make that a verb. He got Daytona'd
the thing now.
And wrecked and yeah. Logano finished in the back. He's not one of the worst drivers. Keselowski finished toward the back. He's not one of the worst drivers.
Right.
A lot of your favorite drivers out there are favorites that you've or drivers that you have heard of. They finished in the back because they were wrecked. Daniel Suarez.
Because of my favorite driver.
Your favorite driver did okay.
No, because of my favorite driver.
Got it. Number 17, Michael McDowell. I had no doubt last week that Michael McDowell had one of the fastest cars on the track. What we didn't see happening was him throwing a gear, and he couldn't get into 5th gear early. So he went from being on the front row to being many laps. He finished 26 laps down.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not going to there's a difference between docking him because he sucks at driving and docking him because of a mechanical issue.
Troubles. Right.
He went out and he grabbed the number 2 spot on the pole. And if he didn't have car trouble, I think he probably would have finished up front. Not at the front, but probably in the top 5-10. Number 16, Chris Buescher. I had him at 14 in my first NASCAR Cup Series top 20 power rankings of the season. He finished 18th at Daytona. This spot kind of feels right for him. I'm still picking him as a driver to break the long streak for Stuart Haas, Haas Racing. Question is, will it be at Atlanta? Probably not. But he's in my top 20. Number 15, Ty Gibbs. Well, he was 15th last week. showed a little bit of speed, finished 17th overall, so I kept him at 15. Number 14, Brad Keselowski. For a minute there, it actually looked like Brad was just waiting for his moment to pounce when he was running up front towards the end, but he got Daytona'd, and he finished in 33rd.
Yeah.
Atlanta's another track that I do expect Brad to perform really well at. He's another guy that does very good at the drafting tracks. Next up, Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick will once again be a contender this year, and I'm willing to bet that we'll see him in victory lane in very short order, maybe even this weekend. For now, he drops out of my top 10. He is number 13. Number 12, the veteran, Martin Truex Jr. It was actually good to see Truex at Daytona. He was running really well. I had him as a top 5 driver in my first power rankings. Accidents happened, pushed him to the back, couldn't recover. I dropped him out, put him at 12. Next up, at number 11, Ms. Marnie, on the spot trivia question. Who drives the number 11? Who drives the number 11?
I'm not admitting what my mouth is trying to say right now. The name won't come out. Denny
Hamlin. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, look, I had the opportunity to put the number 11 in the 11th spot, and I took it. I'm not sure if this is the year he'll actually
Jordan.
cash in. No, that's not Michael Jordan. That's Michael Jordan's partner.
Yes.
His co-owner. But no, yeah, he is co-owner. That's still got to be difficult. I need to start listening to his podcast more. Like, you're racing for one team, you're financially supporting
for a whole other team. That it would be.
You know, I mean, well, let me back up. He's probably not doing most of the financial supporting for 2211. Jordan's probably picking up the biggest part of that bill. Scratch out probably, right? All right, number 10, Ryan Blaney. My fantasy team was actually in third place. Third place. Remember I showed you screenshot? Third place in the money, 400 times what I put in. And then it wasn't in third place anymore. Oh my God. Bad breaks.
Bad.
He got Daytona'd.
Bad.
But I still have him in the top 10. I still have him in the top 10. Number 9 is the one guy that everybody unanimously hates, maybe including his own team. Ross Chastain. I'm calling him, I have nicknamed him Mr. Dynamite. And I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that calls him that. But it's actually a pretty good nickname, along with probably a dozen others off the top of my head that most people want to actually say on a podcast. At any moment, he can explode. He showed that last week. He was responsible for the final wreck of the race with a move. But let me ask you this. Do you want a driver on your team that does not make that move and settles into his position, or actually makes a move that could lead to him winning the Daytona 500?
I mean, I think you'd want the move.
That's why he's in NASCAR. That's why people hate him, but that's why he's there. He makes crazy moves, and sometimes it pays off, and sometimes you see what happened last week. Number 8, I've got Kyle Larson. Kyle just doesn't have any luck at drafting tracks. Doesn't make him a bad driver overall, but I think we'll see more of the same from number 5 this weekend. I do not see him as a top 5 finisher this week. Number 7, Bubba Wallace. I had Wallace at number 11 last week. He finished a solid 5th in Daytona. It would actually be nice to see him get back-to-back top 10s for the 2311 driver to start the season. Yeah. Number 6, everybody's favorite driver, apparently, because that's what he was voted again. Chase Elliott is undoubtedly one of the top drivers in NASCAR and obviously one of the favorites, but he needs a win bad. He'll need to do better than 14th to stay inside my top 10 for next week. Number 5, Joey Logano. I had Logano in 8th before qualifying last week. he can bring another fast car to Atlanta, then he'll be running in the top 5 for most of the race. I think he actually may be the man to beat this week outside of William Byron. If I had to pick 2, Logano, Byron.
Gotcha. I can see
Number
that.
4, Alex Bowman. Feel like this is a little high for Bowman considering I had him number 16 last week for Daytona. But I mean, he showed up last week.
With a showing. He survived the accident he caused, which is pretty amazing to begin with. And then he placed second, I think, correct?
He survived the accident he caused.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. And he finished second. So I moved him all the way up to number 4. Let's go. Let's get back-to-back wins. I like him. I cheer for him. Not just because you like him, but because he's from Arizona, right? Yeah. He's from here. So, well, he's from Tucson, about an hour and a half south.
Mid-pack guy, but he came out feeling a little more serious this season. So I get behind that. We'll see how
at number 3, probably the most underrated freaking driver in all of NASCAR, continues to put up the results, continues to be there in the end when it matters. Christopher freaking Bell.
Yeah.
How does this guy keep getting ignored? He was in the Final 4 last year.
He's not loud, flashy, obnoxious, any of the things that are attention grabbing. So maybe it's just that. Even when they put him in NASCAR Full Speed last season, because they had to, because he was like right up there at the top out of nowhere, and they weren't expecting it. He was pretty chill about it. He's like, let me guess, you didn't think about me, did you?
Right. He was leading the race at the green flag, the final restart. He was in first place. And then he ended up getting taken down and moved back and stuff like that. Christopher Bell, man, he's going to have a solid year this year. If he's not on your fantasy team, go pick him up.
Yeah.
Number 2, William Byron. I couldn't do it. Every part of my soul said that I just need to put him in first, which is where I started off the podcast, our first NASCAR podcast, saying I was going to do. I didn't. Joe Willman changed my mind. I moved him back to 7th. He won a race. But I have to set the precedent. Just because you win a race, that doesn't move you to the number 1 spot overall.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's doing pretty damn good right now. And he's at a track that he is going to do very well. Number 1. Who have I not mentioned yet?
Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch. Now, okay, well, it's because you're a Busch fan. Well, maybe, but if you looked at his driving and his car last week, he overcame not 1, not 2, but 3 issues that sent him to the back of the line.
Yeah, and he
every
still got
time.
up into the top 5.
And he still was in top 5 until he got Daytona'd on the final wreck.
Yeah.
He actually had a shot at going for the win on that final restart, and he got wrecked.
Yeah.
Ah, man. But if you looked at his car was fast as hell. He made it up every time. He had a loose lug nut. He had or wheel lock, as they call it now, because there's only one.
Made a whole lap around without a wheel lock on at all.
Yeah,
survived
that in
and
itself,
maintained his pace.
That in its own should put him as the number 1 driver. They had a man over the wall, or too many men over the wall. A guy reaching for the tire. When they do the change, there's a guy that catches the tire so it doesn't go out on the track.
Yeah.
He was reaching for it, and he ended up putting his hand down on the track.
Right.
And that's too many men over the wall.
No.
Yeah. So he got penalized for that. And then he got penalized for, what was it? What else did he get? He was in a wreck.
Yeah, he was the first wreck that he survived.
It was the first wreck.
He stayed in the race. It wasn't until the second wreck that he really got knocked cold.
Kyle Busch, my number 1 driver.
He looked good, though.
Yeah. I expect him to do very well, especially in the truck series tomorrow, which, by the way, he's starting 7th. Don't worry about that. All right. Don't worry about that. Again, real big shout out to that segment. Sponsor that segment will be from here on be known as NASCAR You Got Sauce, brought to you by our friends
I
at
gotta
Mamba
ask
Hot
the question
Sauce.
I'm sure everybody's dying to hear. Did you finish the chicken nuggets?
Oh yeah, those are long gone.
Yeah.
Those were gone before I
You
got to like
you
Saturday.
went from like doing the show part to just eating.
They were good.
That's a sign of how tasty they
Hey,
really
look,
are, though. So I could say
I grew up in the foster system, wasn't well off. When good food is in front of you, you finish that shit and you finish that shit fast. And then you go up for seconds if it's available, especially being the smallest kid. Believe it or not, I was the smallest kid. I had to eat fast and then get seconds before everybody else got up there. All right.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then I took that mentality and went to the army, where the motto is eat it now, taste it later.
Yeah.
That didn't help. So you wonder why I eat the way I eat? There you go. I was raised to eat this way. I can put down some food. You know this. All right. What is next?
Second quarter NBA schedule for tonight.
All right. So we picked, first off, again, I got to bow down to you. I got to bow down to you for kicking my ass again last night. Look, I tried to fix it. I tried to rig it. Let's be honest. Let's just put it. I created a game. Let me back that up. I created a game. I made up the rules in a sport that I love to watch.
I mean, I do.
only
I am
watches
there
when I
watching
watch
it with you, to be fair. It's not like I'm in a different room every time you got basketball on.
How much of a lead do you have on me right now?
I have to pull up Twitter to look because I just posted earlier.
It was 5 games before yesterday. You won 8 points to 6.
You're at 38 points. I'm at 46.
In a game I created. I just
yeah.
I it's almost spring training. Actually, it is spring training. We'll talk about that more in a second. Can I pull out a win, please? Second quarter NBA schedule for tonight. Let's do it. It was starting with the Raptors at 20 and 36 at the Hawks at 24 and 31. The Hawks won the last matchup 126-125. The Cavaliers 36 and 18 at 76ers 32 and 23. The Cavs have a 6-game winning streak on the road. They won last night, but I think they were in Cleveland last night. The Suns, who lost to Dallas last night, they're at 33 and 23 at the Houston Rockets. They're still in Texas, 24 and 31. Suns are on the second night of a back-to-back loss last night to Dallas by a considerable, that's all I put, considerable amount. I'm trying to be nice to our Suns fans in the Valley. Clippers, 36 and 18, who I picked yesterday and did not deliver for me, are at the Grizzlies, 20 and 36. Clippers did win the last meeting between the two, 128-119. The Wizards, 9 and 46, 9 wins, 46 losses. This is a professional team. At the Thunder at 38 and 17, the Wizards have lost 4 straight on the road. The Miami Heat, 30 and 25 at the Pelicans at 34 and 22. New Orleans is actually on a 4-game winning streak. So that may be one I'm looking at. The Bucks at 35 and 21 at the Minnesota Timberwolves. Minnesota has also won 4 straight wins. Tough matchup for them tonight. You got the Bucks coming in, but I mean, Minnesota's doing their thing. I can definitely see them beating the Bucks. Are they an underdog? No, they are not. The Bucks are the underdog. Hornets, 14 and 41. The team that you picked last night at 13 wins, won against another team that you picked last night who also won. Whatever. The Golden State Warriors, 28 and 26. I was actually happy about the Warriors win. Why? Because they beat the layups.
Because it was against the Lakers.
They are for now and forever known as the
layups.
layups. That's my thing. Well, where am I at? Hornets have actually won 4 straight games. Is this going to be one of those things like the Packers? Every time you pick the Packers to lose, they lost, and now every time you pick the Hornets to win, they win. Is that how this is going to roll?
Well, I guess we'll only find out when if I pick them a couple
you
more
got the
times.
battle of your two winners from last night. The Nuggets 37-19 at the Trailblazers, who's my favorite underdog team to bet on. Trailblazers have actually lost 6 straight. No Malcolm Brogdon tonight either. So I'm hoping that the Nuggets are tired from playing last night. See if I can get to the Blazers. Last game of the night, the Spurs at the Layups. The Los Angeles Layups, 11-45 at the Lakers, 30-27. Lakers, again, without LeBron James tonight. They'll try to bounce back after last night's loss to the Warriors. And it's time for me to redeem myself. I hope just a little bit. Just a shred of humanity left. Half-court shot, 15 wins or less. 15 wins or less. Who am I going with? Should I steal your Hornets or should I go with my Blazers against the Nuggets? Who else are options? The Wizards. That's not happening. That's at the Thunder. And the Spurs. The Spurs actually have a shot tonight. At the Layups. That would be hilarious if the Spurs beat the Lakers. Come on. It really would. Tell me if you're... First off, I'm from Boston. Don't hate me for being a hater. It's in my blood. All right? I've never liked the Lakers, ever. It's not just a little layup James. All right? Ever. I've never liked him either. Off the court, great dad, great entrepreneur, all that stuff. He's a nice guy. Can't stand him on the court. Can't stand him. Doesn't play defense. He hasn't won an NBA. He has not been on an all-NBA defensive team since he was 27. He's 39. That means he stopped playing defense 12 years ago. Yeah. And he's supposed to be the greatest. Michael Jordan would lock your ass down today. Today. Moving on. All right. With that being said, that's like my number 2 rant for the show. Yep. Half-court shot. I'm going with the Blazers. Give me the Blazers. Without Malcolm Brogdon, their three-point shooter. I'm going to say I'm just going to will it to happen. I'm going to will it on hot sauce, on Mamba hot sauce. Like I'm going to rub the Lucky hot sauce bottle. If they win tonight, I just created a new thing. I'm just saying. A little bit. All right. Hotsauce.com. All right. Who do you got? Who's your half-court shot?
I'm going to take the Spurs over the Lakers just because it'll be funny as hell if it actually happens.
I love you for that. And you know what? I'm cheering for that.
For comic value alone.
I love that, and I'm cheering for that. That's awesome.
I'm going for the Spurs.
All right. Next up is the three-point play, which is any underdog. Any underdog on the entire schedule. Yeah. Which means I could take the Bucks at the Timberwolves, but I don't trust the Bucks at all right now. Looking at not the Grizzlies are not beating the Clippers. The Rockets might beat the Suns. I'm going to take the 76ers. Both the 76ers and the Cavs played last night. Okay. That's stupid. That's a stupid pick. I said it. Write it down. That's a stupid pick. The Cavs are going to destroy him. No Joel Embiid. Like, Cavs are going to destroy him. Buddy Hield and Maxey are the two that I'm cheering on right now. All right, who you got?
I'm going to take the Heat over the Pelicans.
Trying to break up that 4-game win streak. I like it.
Just because.
I like it. I was actually looking at that game. Couldn't pull the trigger, though. All right, the layup. Any team. Any team that we want. Any team that we want. I'm going to take the Warriors over your Hornets. Wow, that should have been my guarantee. I'm going to take it. I'm taking it for the. I need the points. I'm not holding off on that. Give me the 2 points. Come on.
Yeah.
Who do you got?
Who do I got?
God.
I'll take the Clippers over the Grizzlies.
You're going to take the Clips over the Grizzlies. Yeah, they didn't show up for me last night. But then again, they didn't play. They played the Thunder, not the Grizzlies. So, I mean, that's a damn good pick.
They're going to be angry about the loss. So
that was actually
going to have a hard time.
That was supposed to be my guarantee pick right there. So I will take. Nobody took the Thunder yet, huh? Over the Wizards? Again, give me the Thunder. Give me that 1 point. I need it. Like oxygen. Give me. Hurry.
I was going to grab that one if you didn't. Now I got to scramble. Let's see.
Guarantee. Who we got? Who hasn't been picked
I'll take the Timberwolves over the Bucks.
Over the Bucks. Continue their win streak.
Yeah.
So you got one team to end the win streak and one team to keep the win streak going. All right, run down those.
All right. So the half court shot, you've got the Trailblazers. I've got the Spurs.
That's 4 point. That's a 4 point play right there.
For the 3 point, you've got the 76ers. I have the Heat.
Okay.
For our layup, which is 2 points, you took the Warriors. I took the Clippers. For the free throw shot, which is 1 point, you took the Thunder, and I took the Timberwolves.
All right. Game on.
Game on.
I almost said a B word, but I'm not that mean. Game on. Right there. All right. What's next?
Third quarter is Best Bets and DraftKings DFS.
All right. So Best Bets tonight. Hey, look. It's been rough this week. I am 2-9 I was 9-2 last week.
Yeah.
Bragging on it. I'm 2-9 this week. What happened to me? All right. This is what's going to happen.
This is how gambling goes.
This is how gambling goes. Back on the horse. Let's do it. Speaking of back on the horse, didn't mean to put it in like that. I've got Ryder at +1 versus Iona. I've got Nevada -10 at San Jose State. They're actually projected to win by like 23. So if I had a guarantee, that would probably be it. But then again, you're looking at somebody that guaranteed UConn. I'm over it. All right. NBA picks. I've got Washington +16.5. I do not like those big numbers. I don't. And I've got Portland at +9.5. I've got the Trailblazers because Denver's on a back-to-back. Jokic probably only scored like 23, 24 points. I'm not saying Portland's going to upset them. I hope they do. But I think they'll keep it within 10. I do. Look for DeAndre Ayton to have another good double-double. Probably 16-10, 16-11. That's usually his range. NBA props. I've got 2 of them. Going up against the Twin Towers, the new Twin Towers there in Minnesota. I've got Damian Lillard under 24.5 points, and I've got Giannis Antetokounmpo under 20.5 points. Bonus points. Can you spell Antetokounmpo?
You put it in the notes, so if you spelled it right there, then yes. Otherwise, I can't even say that. Are you kidding me?
Antetokounmpo.
Butchered this poor man's name. I wouldn't even have said Giannis, looking at the way this is spelled, for the record.
Giannis? Giannis? Can I have Giannis?
Close.
Giannis.
But I would have had to Giannis.
All right. My DFS for tonight, my daily fantasy sports, these are DraftKings builds. You've got about 35 minutes. Free bottle of hot sauce for anybody. We're looking right at it. First off, I have it in my notes, Karen.
Well, we can't cheat, but
I mean, I can spell it anyway.
Anybody else watching?
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't do that stuff online, but that's awesome, though. That is awesome. We should. Thank you. Oh, now she just like said, not me. I'm just like, now she's just being picky, like whatever. Now it's just down to like words. All right. My builds. I've got 2 builds tonight. The first one is the 6-game early slate. Starts at 5:30 our time. So basically in about 35 minutes. So you got plenty of time to get out there and get your team together. I'm going to get Karen to start gambling. Because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get her to start placing bets. Just don't bet on the Yankees. Don't tell Neil I said that. Or, yeah, go ahead and tell Neil I said that. Starting out, point guard. I've got Barnes for Toronto at 8,800. I've got Gary Trent Jr. for Toronto at 4,300. She said, count me in. Awesome. All right, I've got Bay for Atlanta at 5,600, a small forward. At power forward, I've got Johnson for Atlanta. There's a theme here at 7,300. I've got Clint Capella for Atlanta at 5,900. I've got Quickly for Toronto at 6,900. Max Strus for Cleveland at 4,900. And I've got Josh Smith Jr. for Houston at $6,000. That's the early slate. The late slate, DFS 4-game slate. You've got about 2 hours to get this into DraftKings. Neil is probably crying. All right. Hey, I took the sauce. Tell him to man up. Just because it's been 15 years since his team's won anything. 27. He probably wakes up in the morning going, 27. What? All right, moving on. Oh, man. Why is this bottle open and smells funny?
No.
Neil sent you a special package. Next up, the 4-game slate. I've got Vassell for the Spurs at 6,600. I've got Spencer Dinwiddie, mostly because I like his last name, for the Lakers at 5,100. I've got Rui Hachimura. That's another name for you. For the Lakers at 5,400. I've got Johnson, try and spell that, for the Spurs at 5,100. I've got Victor Wembanyama. Sound it out. You'll be all right. For the Spurs at 9,200. I've got Russell for the Lakers at 7,400. I've got Klay Thompson coming off the bench for the Golden State Warriors at $6,000. And I've got Jones for the San Antonio Spurs at $5,200. Should I post? I'll try and post those, but I mean, you've got 30 minutes to get them up. I will be posting the NASCAR DFS later this evening or early tomorrow morning, so you have plenty of time to jump on your DraftKings DFS app and get those teams in there. I think I'll do pretty good this week. It all depends on where they qualify. I think I'll do pretty good. What's next?
Fourth quarter, MLB spring training news and scores.
All right, so spring training actually kicked off yesterday. First off, let's give an awesome shout out, friend of the show, Pittsburgh Pirate, Kanan Smith and Jigba. Pirates got him back. He was shipped off to Seattle. He ended up back in Pittsburgh. I texted him today. He said, I'm back in Fort Myers. That's awesome. Where would you rather be right now? Would you rather be here with this weather or in Florida?
I mean, here. I live here for a reason, though. And also, there's a little secret part of me that would have liked it if he'd stayed on the Mariners just because we could have gone to his spring training game.
We were planning on going to the game next Saturday.
To him or anything. So whatever's best for him.
They shipped him right back. The Pirates were like, "Oh man, we didn't mean to give him away.
Oh, fuck, we messed up.
Can we have him back, please?" He's back. And he's in spring training. So if you're out there in the Fort Myers, Florida area, make sure that you go check out the Pirates. Kanan Smith and Jigba, number 28. Check them out. Today's scores. There were 3 or 4 games today. Kansas City at Texas. Texas won 5-4. Antoine Kelly with the win. Mason Barnett with the loss. And Zachary Kent with the save for the world champion Texas Rangers. Next up, Chicago at Chicago. Chicago won 8-1. The Cubs won 8-1. Jordan Wicks with the win. Jesse Chavez with the loss. The San Diego Padres at the Los Angeles Dodgers. Dodgers win today 4-1. They actually kicked off yesterday. They put up like 14 runs yesterday. Yeah. Today's kind of tame. Winning pitcher Landon Knack. Loss goes to Johnny Brito, former Yankee, I believe. And the save goes to Jack Dreyer. The Arizona Diamondbacks at the Colorado Rockies. Colorado shut them out 3-0 today. Chance Adams with the win. Chris Rodriguez with the loss. Gavin Hollowell with the save tons of games on the board for tomorrow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's over a dozen games tomorrow, including our Boston Red Sox at Baltimore. And let me see. I believe, the Diamondbacks are playing right down the street from us at Salt River Fields against Colorado. All right. That is pretty much it. I do, once again, want to give a shout out to our friends and sponsors. Shout out again, Mamba Hot Sauces. Today, it was the very, very tasty, slightly warm cayenne. It was good. It was extremely good. Those nuggets were gone real quick, fast, and in a hurry. It was really good. You can get more of these sauces, order your own by going to mambahotsauces.com. mambahotsauces.com. Do I have the banner still available? I believe I do. You know what? Let me throw that right back up there real quick. So mambahotsauces.com, perfect for NASCAR. One of the things that I love, let me tell. Okay, do we got time for a couple NASCAR stories?
Sure.
All right. One of the things that I love when I first started covering NASCAR, right, as a media member, and again, a media member who was pretty much his own boss.
Yeah.
Right. So at the time, the infield of Phoenix Raceway was where the campers parked. That's where like the press parked, the really good press like me parked, and then the fans, right? So you had like the barbecues and everything, which is why Mama Hot Sauce is an awesome pick for NASCAR fans because they're always cooking up some shit, and it's really good shit. So I'm walking through the RVs, right? And I'm at the very beginning of a line of about 30 on each side.
Yeah.
And they've all got their flags out. They've got the American flags. They've got the NASCAR flags. They've got their favorite driver's flag. They've got all that stuff. They go all in when they go there. They camp there for a week. They're there all week. It's great. I'm about 2 to 3, maybe 3 RVs in, and I'm smelling some chicken. I'm like, this is good stuff. And they had a Brad, like, I think it was a Brad Keselowski fan, right? So he had a Brad Keselowski flag. And I was like, light bulb. I was like, you guys are Keselowski fans? Yeah. I'm like, me too. All right, high five, Keselowski. He's going to do awesome this week. Hey, man, you want a beer? I'll take a beer. Yeah. And you want to get on these drums? I've got time. Sure, why not? So I'm down in beers with them. I'm eating chicken. I'm in my photo vest, right? Out there partying with them. I have like 2 beers and probably like 5 or 6 legs. And I'm like, hey, great, let's go, Brad, right? So I go down about another 4 or 5 RVs because I wanted to make sure it was far enough away from them to hear, right?
Right.
And they're cooking burgers and brats they had. And they had it was like a junior flag, right? This one of the juniors last year's. And I actually was a huge junior fan.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys are junior fans? Yeah. It's like, I'm a junior fan. They're like, come on in. So I go in. Next thing you know, I got a burger. I got a brat. I got another 2 beers. We're just talking about junior. I'm telling him how I met his dad and everything. I did meet. I got his autograph when I was like 7 years old at a little track in New England called Lee USA Speedway. But yeah, I did that for like 3 straight days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Come Sunday, I had the worst headache because I'm also working. I'm running up and down the track. I'm dehydrated as shit, right? And I just I barely function. I still did a good job, but I mean, I had to dig deep for that.
Yeah.
Like, because you've seen me when I work out there. In 3 or 4 days, I can do 10 to 15 miles on my feet easily. Like, easily. But that's the trick. If you ever go to NASCAR.
Karen says you're a freaking crazy man. I agree.
Hey, look, I just know how to work it. All right. If you go to NASCAR, write down a little note about every single driver. So that way you can be friends with whoever you're sitting next to. Right? That's how you do it. Here's the thing about NASCAR fans that I love the most, and then we're going to go ahead and end it. This is what I love most. If you go to a Raiders and a 49ers game, there's one guarantee. there's gonna be fights in the stands.
Yeah.
Right? At NASCAR, you can take 10 fans of 10 different drivers, put them in the same freaking row, all cheering for different drivers, and they're high-fiving each other, drinking beers, and passing down brats, and
cars go fast.
There's
I mean, that is it, though.
That's it. That's one of the reasons why I love NASCAR so much. That is absolutely why I love NASCAR so much. Like, it is one of the best fan environments. It's a much more
diverse crowd of people than you'd expect, too.
Oh,
all ages, all everything.
It's nice. Everywhere. All right, I'm good. Like, well, let's give it. One more shout out. Mama Hot Sauces and Angelica. Shout out to Angelica for just good vibes, hooking us up with our water bottles, tumblers, I guess you call it, tumblers. And she hooked us both up with one of her bright yellow ones. So
it's like a coffee mug. I think you could do warm in that too.
I think you can do anything in this because it's insulated so well.
Yeah. This has held cold water for more than 12 hours. I filled it up before bed. Like,
I'm not taking any water right now.
Before bed, and in the morning it was still cold. So
I'm gonna wait until the cameras are off, and I'm gonna drink milk and water. I'm good now though. Like that sauce was awesome. Again, that's the cayenne mamahotsauce.com. Get close up. She said get it closer to the camera. Yeah. All right. There you go.
See, like just the little skull for a minute. Actually, that worked out really well. The logo. I like it.
Because you said I'm a pro. Thank you, Karen. Thank you for everybody that watched today. We'll be back on Wednesday. Don't forget to check out the Motivated Mindset on Monday. Mm-hmm. We're talking about having to start over. So that's really cool. So that's like, it's like Jekyll and Hyde, right? The sports show, I'm one way. Motivated Mindset, I'm another way. Welcome to my mind. I still don't know how it works, but that's pretty much how it works. So we will see you guys. Have a great weekend. Good luck on your bets. Check you later.